When we first started with the program, we did our first assessment in September. So our results in September reflected a reading crisis in our schools. The crisis, as per the reflection of the data we received from the surveys, indicated that almost 84% of our students from grades 1 to 5 were below the emerging level. They weren't able to recognize all of the letters of the alphabet. They were not able to even identify some things as simple as the concepts of print, recognizing the covers of books and the authors' names, and even looking at just those basic 2 and 3 letter words. Our students were challenged, and that's not just students who were 6 years old. That was students who were 10, 12 years old. So we knew we had a crisis. We knew we had much work to do. There were teachers who they weren't going to do this stuff. This was hard work, and it was just going to be something we started and that would go away. And one of our literacy catalysts used the phrase that, we had the program and we had ourselves working together to try to get this to happen in the classroom. And then we had the teachers in the classroom. But in between us seemed a concrete wall, to be honest, when we started, because we didn't understand that this was a process and that everyone needed to do it. So professional learning communities have been key to our success in building capacity. We talk about building leaders and readers. We have mentorship partner with the Learning Bar. We have a coach who works very closely with our administrator group. We meet once a month for a 3-hour professional learning community session where we look at our leadership skills. Our leaders have mentorship sessions. They have 1-hour sessions every month with our leader, and it's all focused on supporting educators, supporting teachers to build that capacity. We have an amazing support system from our partnership with the Learning Bar all the way into the classrooms to support teachers with their direct instruction and with their programming. Our teachers know literacy blocks. They understand the value of every assessment. They understand varieties of instruction, and it's a big change for them. Assessment is key to the success of what we're doing in our programs, and that was a big change for our teachers to look at assessment, look at data, and make meaning of that data. So the assessment piece was key. Once we received the assessment results, we saw the crisis situation that we really had with our students in literacy skills. The resources in the para, the resources that support the para are, I'm not even sure how to describe them. They're more than the teachers could have ever expected. So when the teachers do an assessment, it identifies what skills. We know exactly which skills we're assessing. So once an assessment is completed, the teachers can identify right down to a phonetic sound that a student doesn't know that's holding them back from moving to the next level. They know exactly which print concepts are missing. We know exactly where students are at and where the teachers are at. Through this program, through the changes that we've made, we now have more children coming to school. Our very first assessment had 300 students being tested. We have been up as high as 357 students in those elementary grades being assessed over the course of the year. So we brought in more than 40 students back to school who were non-attenders before. And that's the work of our teachers. But the fact that we have 50 more children attending school regularly in our elementary school as a result of being able to hear their friends talk about reading and learning and being able to come in and be able to show what they know, and then by the end of the week they can see how they've grown. It's amazing. And our teachers are so excited about this that it's changed their approach in the classroom. And so we're excited that the teachers are teaching. The teachers are using strategies and the students are engaged and learning. And the community is seeing that. And so we're seeing parents more comfortable coming to the schools. We're seeing increased numbers for parent-teacher interviews. We're seeing parents wanting to know what those activities are that are happening in the school. They're asking for more things for their children to do at home with literacy and reading. We've really brought the family into it and the community into it. It's only our second year going into the program. We know that we'll see incredible growth in our students. We know that. We're confident that we're going to continue to see this growth because we're filling gaps. If the students take off, they're able to build, to go farther and develop even more skills. And we're able to add to the programs and supplement their learning in so many ways. We're moving from becoming readers to becoming a skilled reader next year. And those skills allow students to really dig deep into comprehension skills because they'll now have the basic decoding skills to be able to work through and read with fluency. Now we need to capitalize on the comprehension skills as the students move through. My prediction is by the time we finish year 2 in the program, those students who are in grade 4 this school year, grade 5 next school year, those students will be reading very near grade level, if not at grade level. We've seen significant growth. Ultimately, in the perfect world, those of us who are in these leadership positions that are training and leading professional learning communities, providing the programming and the resources, we want to work ourselves out of a job. We want our teachers to be able to step in and do it. Just this is the way of life, and that's our goal. Ultimately, this is the way that our world is, and this is what we provide to every student who comes into any one of our schools. And this is what every parent should expect and celebrate for their child when they get to come into one of our schools. We may be small in number, we may be very northern, we may be very culturally traditional language based in our schools, but growing readers is important for every person in each one of our communities. And we're able to do that. We're seeing that progress.